What's up, y'all? It's Ty. In this video today, we're going to be going over talking about our top 10 shooting guards right now in NBA 2K25 MyTEAM, ranking them from 10 all the way up to number 1 being our best shooting guard in the entire game. Now, as I do dive into this, I do want to say there are a lot of good shooting guards, and honestly, guys, and this is just me talking to you, I feel like my opinion on a lot of these cards does change over time. So just because a guy is ranked, at a certain tier on my shooting guard tier list doesn't mean it can't change for the top 10. Now, no, my opinion's not going to go over well with a lot of the community, but I don't really care. Starting off at number 10, we've got two different guys that I want to plug in here because I can't plug just one of them in. We've got Franz Wagner and Ron Artest sharing the number 10 spot. Both of these cards extremely good. Franz Wagner more complete badge-wise, taller on the floor, but Ron Artest is just way better defensively. That, it's tough for me to sit here and act like, I can't put either of these guys on the list. Both of these guys, in my opinion, have to be on the list. They have to be. And if they're not, I want to know how you guys aren't putting them at the same tier. I genuinely want to know because I think both of these cards are absolutely elite. And both of them on my Nobody Spent squad play. Like, both of them are good. Both of them play. I actually really enjoy using both of them as well. So for Franz Wagner, for Ron Artest, to me, it's a tie at my number 10 here because I like both cards and a lot. Franz Wagner, again, taller, lengthier, probably slightly better offensively, where Ron Artest is just going to give you that more defense. Coming in at my number 9, a newer Galaxy Opal, it is Jimmy Butler. Now, I don't hate Jimmy, but I don't want people to sit up here and act like Jimmy Butler is like the be-all, end-all at that shooting guard position. He's fine. He is just okay, though, in my opinion. There's nothing that when I'm looking at Jimmy Butler that I'm like, wow, this card is, the best shooting guard in the game. Yes, stat-wise, he's nearly perfect. Badge-wise, he's really solid as well. To me, the way I think of Jimmy Butler is just a slightly better Ron Artest. That's the way I think of Jimmy, and I think that's a fair way to think of Jimmy. I think Jimmy's really solid on the floor. I just don't think he is the best shooting guard in the game, or honestly, anything close. I like Jimmy. I don't have an issue with him, but again, when you're talking about the elite of the elite at the shooting guard position, to me, he's just fine. Coming in at my number 9. At my number 8, a guy I like a lot more is Vince Carter. Now, why do I like Vince Carter more than Jimmy Butler? Well, if I want to first start off with this, Vince has that Pro 2 leaner, which is fantastic. Vince's release is way better. But they're two polar opposite cards, right? Vince Carter is going to give you way more offense. Jimmy Butler is going to give you way more defense. So it really comes down to who you personally like more between Vince Carter and Jimmy Butler. That's just the pure honest truth. If you like Jimmy Butler more, that's fine. If you like Vince Carter more, that's fine as well. I just think Vince gives you enough at that shooting guard position to be that primary ball handler. Now, I know the normal dribble style is obviously not ideal, but the Vince Carter release is really good. That combined with the Pro 2 leaner does enough for him to be at my number 8. At my number 7, we're plugging in Galaxy Opal Clyde Drexler, 6'7", 6'10" wingspan here for Clyde. 11 Hall of Famers, 14 on gold, 2 on silver, 1 on bronze. Clyde's kind of that middle ground. He's not good enough defensively to be, Jimmy Butler. He's not good enough offensively to be a guy like a Vince Carter. I just think he's good enough as an overall card to just be to be steady, to be solid, and be a guy you trust on the court. That's genuinely how I think about Clyde. Again, not gonna do anything at that elite level, but does enough at an all-around level, in my opinion, to be plugged in here. I really like the Clyde Drexler base. Does have that Pro 2 leaner, which I talk about a decent amount because I really do like using it. And again, when I'm looking at Clyde, I think he is one of the most complete shooting guards that we do have in the game right now. Coming in at my number 6, and I know this is going to make some people mad, but I do not care. Dark Matter, Michael Jordan. You got to take the good with the bad with Michael Jordan. MJ based on very quick. MJ leaner obviously is fine. Debug dribble style. I simply put, MJ maybe should be higher. I'm just not going to gas a card that is as expensive and as pay to win as Michael Jordan is. I just never will. Now, is the Michael Jordan release on Very Quick good? It's fine. I don't like when people sit here and gas it though. It's a fine release, but is it like the best release in the game or anything close? Honestly, I don't think so. And a lot of people, really like the MJ base. Even on Very Quick, they think it's elite. I think it's just fine. If you like it, if you want to use it, that's fine. But again, I'm not going to sit up here and hype it up when I personally don't necessarily think that release is, the best release in the game. Or honestly, I don't even think it's anything close. So that's where I'm at with Michael Jordan. I know some people are going to get irritated, get mad at me for not having Michael Jordan higher. I apologize, but not really, because I just do not see it with MJ. I think the card is good, but I don't think the card is next level good in this game. I apologize. That's where I'm at, though, with Michael Jordan coming in here at my number 6. At my number 5, plugging in Kawhi Leonard. Now, look, you want to argue that MJ should be ahead of Kawhi? Tell me why. Kawhi's taller. Kawhi's just as good as a defender. Kawhi, player build's going to be just as good, if not better. Badge-wise, sure, MJ's slightly better, but it's not by much. And I'd argue Kawhi's release is just as good, if not better, than Michael Jordan's. I'd argue that. And so if you disagree with me on that, again, I'm all ears. That's fine. But I want you guys to tell me why you disagree with me if you do, because I think Kawhi is outstanding. Do I think Kawhi is... what's the right words? Do I think Kawhi is, what was worth it if you had to spend money? No, I don't think Kawhi was worth obviously spending money on, but I do think Kawhi is extremely good and extremely valuable on this game. 92 3-ball, 93 speed, is 6'7", nearly perfect defensively. It's tough to argue that Kawhi isn't good. It's tough to argue that the card's not outstanding with everything he does on the court. Coming in at my number 4. And this is where people are going to start getting mad at me. But how do I tell you? I do not care. We're plugging in Pink Diamond Paul George. I don't care if you get mad at me. Genuinely, you can get as mad as you want. But when Paul George is as good as he is, he's going to get gassed. 6'8", 95 3-ball, 94 speed, perfect defense, release-wise fantastic, greens every lightly there is, pro dribble style. He is not perfect. Paul George is not perfect. But I want to, when I say that, it's because he's not updated, but I want you guys to know he's outstanding. 6'8", nearly perfect stat-wise, and I'm going to do something for you guys. You guys aren't going to like this, but I'm going to do it. Let's compare the cards. MJ has hot spots for everywhere. MJ's better badge-wise, but when you compare the defense, realize Paul George is 6'8", with nearly as good a defense as Michael Jordan. To me, 3-ball, just as good. It's better than MJ's as well. Release-wise, give me Paul George. Paul George is coming in at my number 4. And hate on me as much as you want down below in the comments. But at the end of the day, it's not going to change anything. I like Paul George a ton. I think the card is an absolute beast, an absolute stud. And he is in here at my number 4. At my number 3, we're plugging in Bernard King Galaxy Opal, who is a stud on this game. If you don't like Bernard King, I do not know what to tell you. 6'7", 7-foot wingspan, 85 3-ball, 93 speed, solid defense. But his release is immaculate on this game. The PJ Tucker release is absolutely exquisite. Norma leaner, pro dribble style, all of that stuff is fine. But to me, the reason I like Bernard King so much is really that release. 6'7", good release, 85 3-ball, 93 speed. There's just a lot going on for Bernard King on this game. Good hot spots as well. Everybody that gets Bernard King likes the card. It's really that simple, that easy. Bernard King on this game is an absolute stud. Coming in at my number 2, we've got Julius Erving, Pink Diamond. And here's where people are going to get mad. I know, guys. I know you're mad. I get it. You want to gas Dark Matter Michael Jordan. But tell me how. Dr. J has a pro leaner, John Wall base, better than Michael Jordan. 89 3-ball, 96 speed, perfect defense, 6'7". How do you not like Dr. J? Look, and if you want to hype up the Dark Matter Dr. J more than this card, whatever, I'm just telling you, Pink Diamond Dr. J is the second best shooting guard right now in the entire game. He is. And if you don't agree with that, I'm telling you, you're missing out, because Dr. J is that good. Dr. J is that elite in this game. Again, perfect speed, high 3-ball, defensively solid. It's tough not to be really high on Dr. J on this game. At my number 1, we're plugging in Dark Matter Dr. J. Now, here's the situation. Dark Matter Dr. J is not that much better than Pink Diamond Dr. J. He's not. He's slightly better, but that's it. And so when people want to gas the Dark Matter Dr. J, I get badge-wise he's slightly better, But that's really it. Pink Diamond Dr. J is so close to being as good as the Dark Matter Dr. J, but it's simple. Dark Matter Dr. J is still just that slightly better, which is why he comes in as my best shooting guard right now in NBA 2K25 MyTEAM. That's gonna wrap it up for our shooting guard top 10 list. If there is anybody that I missed out on, let me know down below in the comments. Again, with the top 10s, it's hard because there's just so much talent at the shooting guard position. And again, I can go through and look at them. A guy like Joe Johnson didn't make the list. A guy like Pink Diamond Dominic, obviously, is in the game, didn't make the list. Ray Allen didn't make the list. Jaylen Brown didn't make the list. So you got a lot of these good shooting guards that, in my opinion, are just not top 10. Let me know your thoughts. Drop a like on the video. Subscribe if you are new. And as always, man, I love you guys. Have a blessed day.